When it comes to backup and recovery strategies for ransomware defense, or even just in defense of anything, including natural disaster, a couple of areas that you need to look at is one, how much data do you want to retain? And how long do you want to retain it for? The other areas come into play, such as recovery. You might have a large storage of data that's offsite, but how long does it take for you to get that back? Is it in the form of a tape and it has to be driven back to your office? Is it in the form of a cloud connection that you are now waiting for the download to finish? Other areas that we look at is how often should you run your backups? If a backup occurred last night, but then the attack occurs at 3 in the afternoon, you have lost an entire day. And that might be just as detrimental as the ransomware potentially could have been. Also, when it comes to ransomware defense and backups, you have to ensure that your backups are clean. Since a lot of attacks are not immediate and the average dwell time of an attacker is measured in months, you have to assume that your data or your machines were compromised weeks ago, and you may have to go and find a clean copy, or to be able to determine, could you actually clean it out yourself before restoring it to your hardware. SecurePoint Solutions' approach to ransomware threats is we attempt to stop the threat from even occurring in the first place. And by using layers of security, we want to make it continually more difficult for that threat actor to further their goals. So the first piece is to stop them from even getting onto the network in the first place. The second would be to detect if they did achieve a foothold on the network, and then further steps such as permission settings that would prevent the attacker from launching this ransomware software from a user's machine. Finally, the step of isolating a machine before the attack can spread is parts of our methodologies that we employ. With ransomware attacks becoming more targeted, businesses can adjust their cybersecurity strategies by doing a number of things. First off, removing the ability for the individual users to install programs and to have administrative privileges. Oftentimes, ransomware is deployed simply because the normal user has way more access to their machine than they should. Another area is to have layers of defense, especially on your data, so that if an attack is successful on one machine, it will require other hoops to jump through to further access your cloud data or your server data. And then the other piece to it is, as most ransomware still comes via email, we highly encourage a strong security awareness program and good quality email filtering to prevent some of the phishing and other malicious attacks from occurring.